Fable is back from the brink. We just got major news out of the Xbox Developer Direct that answers some of the biggest questions us fans have had since the cinematic trailer. And yes, I personally think that Fable has been saved. Now, why do I think this? Well, the biggest negative review out of the cinematic trailer that I've seen is that nobody wanted to play the protagonist. Nobody liked the way she looked. Well, they just revealed, whether for better or for worse, and it's better, I assure you, that they have a little bit of character customization. You get to choose some faces. Now, it's not a full character customization. You're not going to get slides. You're going to get a choice of presets by the look of it, and then you'll be able to change in typical Fable fashion your hair and your clothes throughout the game. Now, I'm going to be real. I was going to buy Fable no matter what. I am a big fan of the Fable series. Fable 1 Anniversary Edition has my heart. I know there's some Fable 2 lovers, and if you're crazy in the head, you might like Fable 3 as much. But I hope you're not crazy in the head if you're watching this video. Without a doubt, I think that this inadvertently saves Fable. But the rest of the game has to be good, and I think they showed that in this direct. The thing I wanted to see the most personally was the combat, and they called it a fluid, style-weaving type of combat. Just like the original games, they made it seem like they had 3 types of combat: magic, archery, and melee combat. But they directly expressed that you'd be able to fluidly weave between all 3 styles of combat. Ultimately, at the end game, possibly making it just like old Fable games where you were just broken beyond comparison. They took the classic strength, skill, and will trio and turned it into seamless, fluid combat. You can instantly transition between swordplay, shooting, and spellcasting, including combo chaining attacks with no delay, which could be very cool, especially Magic. I am a die-hard Magic player for Fable, so if you can transition from melee to Magic seamlessly and you can name it like a spell sword character, they got me hooked right there. They also showed that you have the classic Hobbs and Balverines, and they showed a new threat, the Cockatrice, which is just a giant chicken that fire breathes that I wish I could punt. They didn't punt it in the showcase, but I wish I could punt it. The chicken punting is also back. On a side note, if you know anything about a Fable game, it's that you have to be allowed to punt a chicken in order for it to be called a Fable game. And if I can't have people call me Chicken Chaser, oh dude, I'm getting a mod for that if they, if they add mod support. Combat didn't seem to be just button mashing though, and your magic skills seemed to have some sort of cooldown in the bottom corner. Now they also had enemies with almost like a guard break mechanic. You put them off balance and you get these finishing moves. I'm not sure if it finishes them all the time or maybe it just does significant damage. We'll have to wait and see. And they also didn't really mention progression. There's no mention of the progression system in this direct. So how this game chooses to involve your progression, I have no clue. If it's like the old games where you get these strength, skill, or will points and then you spend that on skills, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, especially playing into my next point, the new open world system. Now, they made a big deal about going anywhere and doing anything. I like a good open world RPG game. I don't think everyone does it that well. Now, they made it seem like I said, that nowhere is forbidden. So that means maybe the enemies progress with you, and as you level up, the enemies also get harder, so there's somewhat of a challenge there the whole time. I'm not sure. They did not confirm that. That's just what it seems like. But the world did look beautiful. They went over several biomes and places you could expect to run into, especially Bowerstone, man. If you remember Bowerstone, I think it might be the only city, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, that's shown up in every single Fable game. And it absolutely looks beautiful in this Fable game as well. But they specifically mentioned that you can go anywhere early or late in the game without invisible story barriers. Rolling hills, misty forests, spooky swamps, sprawling villages, and detailed locales were displayed in this direct, all seamlessly connected and explorable. I don't know, that's kind of exciting to me. Let me know if you think that's exciting. I've been leaning towards more levels or closed in areas lately rather than an open world, but this has got me a little bit excited for a new open world game, especially since they mentioned that the environments will shift depending on your decisions. like defeating or sparing unique characters, and those changes can linger visually in the world. So this world will be like crafted around you as you go through it. Very excited for that. And that brings me to what everyone remembers Fable for. The real Fable experience wasn't the combat, although it was fun back in the day. It wasn't the story, although they were great, at least 1 and 2 back in the day, where you really had choices you can, affect the ending with. What really is Fable coded is the lives beyond the quest, the houses, the jobs, the families. That's really what people remember Fable for. You could tell me otherwise, I will not believe you. If you were not slumlording, dude, if you were not buying up every house and punting chickens on the way, you were not playing Fable the correct way. Go back to Fable 1, buy all the houses available, charge your rent through the roof, beat up some women, okay, get divorced because everyone hates you, give gifts, remarry. I mean, come on. There felt like endless possibilities, man, in the first 2 games. I don't know where to stop at. I don't know where to begin again. Like, it was endless possibilities. And as the new developers put it, it was the game within the game. And in this game, there should be nothing different. They boasted that you could buy every single house and every single business in the game, becoming a landlord or an entrepreneur in Albion. You can also romance NPCs again. You can marry them. You can have children. They had a video of children running across the screen. Tongue twister. I'm leaving that in though. You can marry multiple women at your risk of divorce. They'll divorce you again. I mean, beat your wife, she's gonna leave you. I'm sorry. That's how the world works now. I say that as a happily married man. And through all of this, the villagers should react to your life choices and community changes based on how you run your affairs. You see these tags in the game, like if you're rich, they're going to call you out. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to not. And there's some characters you can spare or maybe kill. One of them is a giant called Dave they revealed very early on in the game. Some people might like it if you kill him, some people might not. And I think that's pretty cool. You also see his giant corpse if you kill him, lying on, the fields outside some homes, which is going to change the home prices. Also insane that could happen. I don't know. I'm really excited for this part of the game. And this is all wrapped into their choice, consequence, and reputation system. Everything you do is going to add to your reputation. There seems to be no good versus evil meter, kind of like there was in the last games. Instead, they're kind of changing it for this reputation, how the world perceives you. They'll gossip about you, what seems like these tags that you collect. And some people are going to like the things you do and some people aren't, which I think is very cool. Some people actually might like you doing evil things. Maybe there's some occult shadow people they mention, and maybe they're going to like you if you do evil things and you can get in with the gang and the cult. I don't know. I think this could be pretty cool. Endless possibilities with this reputation system. And your smallest actions, like how you even treat the villagers or the chickens. Someone might not like you punting chickens. Someone might like you, but they can lead to stories that NPCs later reference when you're talking to them. Which brings us to the NPCs. They called the NPCs a living population. Boasted over 1,000 NPCs with routine lives. That means you can follow them from daybreak to the night and you can see what they do through their lives. I don't know if they're going to have different schedules depending on days or if it's just going to be one set schedule, but they kind of seem like they had a formula for it. But each NPC is going to be individually named and all voice acted, which needs to be. The Fable games were voice acted back in the day. So cool to see the voices. Everyone calling me Chicken Chaser when I was running, dude. It was honestly the best nickname. If you chose a different nickname, you chose wrong. Hey, Chicken Chaser, come on. In Power Stone, the Chicken Chaser's here. Like, you're this badass hero, and they're just calling you Chicken Chaser. I don't know. I loved it. Each NPC is going to have their own name, though. So 1,000 individually named NPCs, each with their own jobs, homes, routines, and behaviors. These characters are going to go about their day. They wake up, work, relax, socialize, go back home, sleep, do it all again. And you can follow them individual and unique I mean, 1,000 plus would be insane if you followed every single one. Someone out there is insane enough to do it and maybe post it to YouTube and you can watch it, because I'm definitely not doing that. But you can talk to every single one with full voice lines, personalities, likes, and dislikes. And this is very important, especially in open world games. You don't want this empty feeling open world. It's really just doesn't work out, man. People hate it. I hate it. Just make levels. If that's the open world you're going for, just don't make it open world. Just give me some levels. Let me see some tailored content for those levels or those areas. Maybe you can move from area to area like the old Fable games. They weren't technically levels. You're just moving in through areas and getting quests. You know, bring it back to that if that's what's going to happen. But they made it really seem like the world evolves around you, like I said earlier, and that the NPCs are going to be so abundant and unique for these areas that there's always going to be someone to interact with or see what's going on. And if there's not NPCs, maybe there's some enemies there or some bit of explorable, gorgeous environment that you can see. So I'm very excited for this open world concept. Everything they're saying is ticking all the boxes. I really just hope they can pull it off. I think the game looks beautiful personally, regardless of the frame rates you might have seen drop or might not. I will neither confirm nor deny, because I think it'll be fixed. If it doesn't get fixed by launch, we'll talk about it. But they have multiple months, 8 months probably. It's supposed to release in the autumn area. So who knows, September through December. If they release in December, they're absolutely crazy, because that's when GTA 6 is supposed to release. I'm probably not getting GTA 6. But it's dang near suicide, because I know everyone else is getting it at that time. So they'd be mad men and mad women if they released at that time. But it will be released on Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5. So all the big platforms. And it will be Xbox Game Pass Day 1 available if you're a Game Pass owner. And the final thing I want to talk about is the story setup. It's just like all the Fable games. You're either going to have you're going to have a tragic backstory. That's non-negotiable. Your grandma gets turned to stone. But you're either going to have a villain origin story or a hero origin story, how you interpret that. And I think this game warrants at least 2 playthroughs. If not more, you can go the neutral path, which is always kind of my playthrough style. I like to do some things bad, some things good, and hopefully it works out in the end. Now, in older games, you either had to go all in on good or all in on bad to really see the different endings. But I feel like in this one, with the reputation system, I think having a neutral outlook, if that giant dude they talked about early on is an absolute menace, killing him might be a beneficial thing for everybody except his sister. So I don't know. I think with the reputation system, a neutral playthrough might be up my alley on this one. But at least 2 playthroughs. Use it as a tragic story for hero upbringing, and then use it as a tragic story for a villain upbringing. See the differences. I think that alone is going to make the game worth it. With that though, just know I'm super excited. I hope you're excited. Like, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.